Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with Coco Gauff. First question from me. Coco, congratulations. First
Thank
win
you.
here this year. Can you just give us your thoughts on the match today and the conditions out there?
Yeah, I was very happy with how I was able to manage after the first few games. And yeah, the conditions is a little bit, well, it's always fast here, but I feel like the center court is a bit faster than the practice courts. And then, yeah, it's always hot here. So the same, but I'm just happy to, do better than I did last year. Last year I lost in my first match. So I'm just happy to be a step better than last year. Oh.
Sorry, raise your hand.
In the third game of the first set, it was a long game and you got broken, but then you came right back quickly and broke her. How important a turnaround was that to be able to not get so frustrated with losing in that long game and come right back and get the break back?
Yeah, it was super important. I think especially just to, show her that I'm here in the return games, and I knew like once I found my serve, it would be a pretty straightforward match, and that basically was what it was. I thought I returned well, and I broke a lot today, and then in the second, it was as straightforward as I would like for it to be.
Did you feel your strokes were pushing your back and causing errors on our backhand side?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely felt that, and for me, I knew these courts were fast, so I was just trying to get it deep in the court and force her into that. Obviously, sometimes it's harder to hit winners when it's so fast because you're just reacting. But yeah, that was definitely I wouldn't say it was the plan going in, but then it ended up turning into the plan.
Hi, Coco. Congrats.
Thanks.
We love the Miu Miu outfit, and now that this is the third of all of the pieces, I'm curious, which one has been your favorite? What's your thoughts on the partnership? And if you had to pick a designer to do a future collection with, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think Berlin was my favorite because I just felt so pretty in it. And yeah, I think Berlin, I think that green just looked really good on the grass. And future designer, that's a good question. I think something with Telfar could be cool, just because they're just founded by a black designer, and I think they also do some athletic wear kind of already. So I felt like that they would be cool.
Hi, Coco. It seems like this summer you got super into Love Island, and so I'm just curious how you got into it and any takes you'd like to share with us.
Yeah, I got into it last season, obviously the whole famous season, and then this season I was able to start from the beginning, and yeah, I had a real bad addiction. It was like, I think it started around French Open time, and I would be like first thing in the morning waking up in Europe to watch it, Love Island, like 6 a.m., and I couldn't go on my phone until I watched it because I didn't want spoilers. My takes, I love Alandria and Shelley. I think they're so cute, and obviously if you follow me on Twitter, I was a huge Nick Alandria stan, so I'm happy to see that they're still going good. But yeah, it was a fun summer. I think I had deleted Twitter after I think last week because I was like, I'm too involved with Love Island, and then tennis Twitter's coming up, and there's all this drama from that and drama from Love Island, and I was just like, I need to. Then for some reason this summer I Turned Pretty was coming up, and I've never watched that, but then I was like into it, just even not watching the show, and I was like, okay, I'm getting too addicted, so I have no Twitter on my phone anymore.
Sorry, this is absolutely not my question, but have you ever watched Love Island UK?
No, I haven't, and people have told me to. And they said it's better, which is why I'm scared, because I'm like, I know how much I went to a watch party at Love Island. I'm in 2 Love Island group chats. I hosted a Love Island watch party. So yeah, it was a bad obsession, and I was thinking about doing a whole game. If I had time, I was about to do a whole Love Island game, with my whole family, with all my friends, where we had to dress up, couple up. I had it all planned out, but I didn't have time in between French and Wimbledon. But I mean, in between Wimbledon and here, but next season maybe.
So you and Arena are the only players who aren't doing the US Open mixed doubles,
Yeah.
which is kind of ironic since you're the only slam champion, the only top 5 players. Sorry,
Yeah.
You're the only top 5 players on either tour who have won a double slam. I'm just curious what.
Oh, dang.
Just curious why you have decided not to do it, and what do you think of it?
Yeah, for me, it was just because I know pre-week of U.S. Open's already packed for me for sponsor things, and I was just like a whole nother thing. And I'm I'm competitive. Like, if I were to lose, I would not be happy. So I didn't want to waste, like, mental energy on that. Then on top of the sponsor stuff, the pre-week, and then knowing that this finished on Monday and potentially having to play on Tuesday. Well, yeah, you would have to play on Tuesday. So I just knew it wasn't going to work out for me with the scheduling wise. But, I think it's cool, and I think it's going to be an exciting, I think it's 2 days, exciting 2 days. So, yeah, I'm not knocking it off for the future. It's just I plan my sponsor weeks literally like a year out, sometimes a year and a half out. And when this whole thing was coming up, I was already booked and busy.
Coco, in terms of your return, which you were discussing before, I'm curious, there are some people who are considered great returners because of that first strike. The return is so powerful and overwhelming, and they hit winners off it.
Yeah.
And then there's others who, they just have really high break rates and are very confident in their returns. From your perspective, what do you think is the reason why you're such a good returner?
Yeah, I think the second part, I think I just know how to get, like, it deep in the court and and I don't know, I just feel like and my return was one of the weaker parts of my game when I first started, so it was something that I worked on. But I think just knowing, like, certain patterns, trying to get the ball deep, and also not trying to go for it, knowing when to go for the first strike and when not to. Like today, I hit a return winner down the line, and just to set the tone that maybe you can't always serve wide and it's not going to get punished, but also knowing situations too. If it's 30-all, I'm not going to, well, sometimes it happens. Sometimes I hit a lot of accidental winners. It's not always planned. So sometimes it just happens like that. But just knowing that I'm not going for the line all the time, and also knowing when to go for, like, the line or a winner. So I think it's just really a feel and a vibe thing. I think it's something that on my side it was never really taught, but you just lose enough a certain way and you do it the opposite of that.
Coco, earlier this week when we talked to you, you had just arrived from Canada, haven't had a whole lot of time to see much around here.
Yeah.
Now that you've been here a couple of days, what do you think of all the changes?
Yeah, it's been really cool. Literally, when I talked to you guys last time, I had got out the car and came straight to the press conference room. So I've been able to explore it. I said it in Tennis Channel. My favorite is, like, the unlimited food. And they had that here before, but I don't know, just having, like, acai bowls and smoothies and all of that has been cool. But also just the space and the facilities here is great. Like, just having space to be alone. I feel like a lot of times these tournaments, we see each other all the time, and I don't know, it can be overstimulating just having so much around you. But if you want to see people, you can go to the dining area and talk. If you want to be by yourself, there's a lot of places in the locker room to chill and just around to chill. And then the paddle and just more fun stuff to do, like, while we're hanging out and waiting. And I think it's great to have in the practice court. I think I haven't had any problems, like, getting practice courts or practice time. So I really credit the tournament and those who invested into this event for doing that, because it means a lot to us players, and hopefully the fans appreciate it as well.
Okay. 2 questions, one silly. Would you go on Love Island ever?
Honestly, if I was single, then yeah. I told my friends, I was like, I want to get casted. They would never cast me, but I would totally, if I didn't play tennis, I would totally do it. It just seems so fun to be on vacation in Fiji.
And the second more serious question, your next opponent is the one who kind of ruined Wimbledon for you.
Yes.
Do you have revenge on your mind, or is that something that doesn't motivate you? It's more about your game.
I don't ever think of, like, revenge type of tennis. At first I used to think like that, but then I'm like, I've played too many people too many times to have, like, a revenge mindset. But no, I think for me it's a good measure to see where my game is. I felt that Wimbledon match, it was just a tough loss for me, and I don't think I approached it as well. And Diana's, I always have trouble against her. She's a tough opponent, great ball striker, can pull winners out of anywhere. So yeah, it'll be a tough test for me, especially having to play her again. But I think I had more time to work on things on the hard court season, and definitely I think a better surface than grass for me. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough match, but I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully I can do better than 1B. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.